because in VANS'S lineup we have already covered their first pair of sneakers ever in production and their third, and you can find links in the description for those, and also because we didn't quite get our hands yet on their second one, today we are covering their fourth pair in production. Stay tuned.
I give you sneakers.
These are Vans Sk8 High, also known as Style 38, and the pair I'm holding today comes in a wacky material and paint job. Take a look. If you are interested in Vans's history, I have highlighted the most interesting moments during their rise to success in our previous Style 36 episode, and you can watch it there. So now, I will start by giving this pair a bit of background. As I have previously mentioned, these are Vans's fourth pair of sneakers in production and their first high-top one. Shortly after the Van Doren Rubber Company, aka Vans, was founded in Anaheim, California in 1966, their first ever shoe into production followed, that being the Authentic, or as they were called back then, the Style 44s, those ones being followed in 1977 by their second pair ever, the well-known classic slip-ons aka Style 48, and the same year their third, the Old Schools aka Style 36, that also introduced the famous side stripe. In the 70s, as the brand was now already famous in the skateboarding world and the sport itself became a lifestyle, Vans listened to what skateboarders wanted from the sneakers, and in 1978 these shoes were born. Originally called the Style 38, the high-top model is essentially an old school raised up a few extra inches to also cover your ankles, because these emerged at a time when pool and vert skateboarding were on the rise, and the protection of the ankle became high priority. Because at first these sneakers blew up fast while doing ollies and other tricks, the model went through some major changes in design almost 10 years later. In the late 80s, the new pair now featuring a widened heel counter to protect and reinforce the ankle, and a bigger eye stay area forming an ollie patch, serving them greater durability under ollie routine. Also in the 80s, while this model was being cemented as a sports icon, the BMX came along and those guys figured out that the Style 38 is also excellent for doing their tricks. In the 90s, although the pair is deeply rooted in the world of sports, this model was also picked up as a fashion item in communities surrounding music and art. The shoe's popularity continued to grow into the early 2000s, and today they seem to be more popular than ever. Of course, they have been updated with new colorways, materials and build variations, but they preserve the same overall design and DNA. It is not at all unusual or unlikely to spot these being casually worn, and that seems to me to be also true for the whole brand's lineup. Just in the past week, while working on this episode, I have spotted dozens of people around me in various outfits or places wearing Vans casually or even at the gym. Now, the basic pair of Sk8 highs comes in various colorways, and it is very hard to not find one to like. Also, for some colorways you can also choose a regular or white fit. On top of the basic color schemes, various collabs also add on top many other special designs so that we can't ever get enough. Now, the pair I'm holding today is one of the special ones, being a collab between Vans and surfer Alex Knost and musician and surfer Lee and Curren. If you want to find out more about them, their work and the collab between them and Vans, I have included links in the description. Let's now start breaking this apart, and first let's cover their looks. From the first glance you can tell that these look like no other Sk8 high out there, in a teal blue, dark grey and black and purple color scheme. The upper sits in an ocean blue color that closely resembles the deepness of the ocean, and if you move them around you can see the constant small movement of the surface of the ocean. And also what I find quirky, and in a good way, is the fact that depending on how the light hits them, the sneakers look completely different and the light and dark areas vary all the time. You can tell that these guys I have mentioned earlier are surfers. The sidewall together with the whole outsole is dark grey, opposed to the dark brown color in which the usual Vans waffle sole sits in. On the other hand, the pattern remains. The whole interior is black and purple, matching the branding on the exterior and the laces color theme. The Vans logo has been reinterpreted throughout this whole artist collab and has been used for the other product releases as well, and we can spot it stitched on one side of every shoe on a corduroy kind of material for the background, and 2 more in the upper part of the insoles. Also included in the box you will find this special edition Vans logo on a black sticker that you can use to spice up your gear. Going further with the branding, we can spot the usual off-the-wall skate in purple this time in the heel area, another usual Vans logo on a tag stitched to the top of the tongue, followed by an off-the-wall text puzzle, another one on the interior of the tongue, followed by since 1966, and that is the year Vans was founded. And moving on to the insole, we can spot a couple of branding pieces here too. Again, the normal Vans logo sits in the heel area next to the Sk8 mentioning, followed just above by a QR code that sends you to Vans'S website, and on top of that, Knost and Curren signatures paying tribute to the artists featured in this collab. What I find quirky is that the signatures are mirrored, and on one insole you can properly read Curren and on the other Knost. What is also quirky is the fact that on the back of the stickers holder we can find the left insole's artist signatures, not the right one. Now, I have also discovered the hidden Vans logo on the bottom of the insole, carved in the heel area, that probably will not be seen by too many people. Speaking of the bottom of the insole, this one sits in quirky light lime color that can be found nowhere else throughout the sneakers. Last but not least, this featured the famous side stripes blended in, this piece of branding being introduced just a year before this model was launched. And again, to prove that these sneakers are special, even the eyelets are different, sitting in a copper tint. Now, materials wise, you have to get ready for this.
Don't tell me.
The whole deconstructed teal blue upper is velvet.
Velvet? It's the real deal.
Yes, that was the material chosen to mimic the surface of the ocean. You can imagine I was totally blown by this, because while ordering this I would not have imagined that what seemed to be a blue textile that had different shades of blue in different lights in pictures online was in fact velvet. Maybe this detail will scare some of you, but I gotta be honest, they do really stand out and they're beginning to grow on me. You will either love these or hate them. I don't think there's any middle ground here. Moving on to the rest of the materials used for these, the sidewall, toe cage and waffle sole are made from rubber, eyelets are metal, which is a must for textile uppers, interior lining is made from black colored canvas, and what I find again quirky is the fact that the tongue is padded on the interior using the same exterior velvety material, which because it's shiny, can help you with sliding your foot in easier. The Sk8 footbed is thick and made from what Vans claims to be at least 25% bio-based EVA foam, partially derived from plants, and it is finished in a thin purple canvas on top. Well, now, features-wise, because we were talking insole, I have to say, I think this thick cush footbed contributes the most to this sneaker's comfort, and this one will for sure help protect against impact and will lessen leg fatigue for longer skate sessions. Another great one is the use of the rubber toe cap that the basic Sk8 high model doesn't feature, and improves toes area protection by a lot. And speaking of protection, I can also spot a piece of material sandwiched in the heel area as reinforcement that is light but will stop some kicks from reaching your lower heel while offering support for the back foot. And speaking of kicks, while it is great that these are high top, stopping the kicks meant for your ankles, but if you're used to the basic Sk8 highs, unfortunately this pair I have with me today does not feature any bit of padding inside the materials in the upper part of the ankle area that those have, so that you will remember every moment your board hit your ankle. Going back to the quirky padding of the tongue using the exterior material, this does not seem that quirky anymore, because the tongue is now more cushioned than the ankle collar. Weird choice in my opinion. Maybe these are designed more towards a fashion casual use than a skateboarding one? Nevertheless, on the not so weird side, these are equipped as usual with the famous Vans waffle sole that is grippy and gives an accurate feel of what's happening beneath. So, back to skateboarding again. What I also have to mention, and this maybe goes without saying, these are not at all suitable for wet weather or cold days, as the upper will swallow water and you will feel like walking in a pair of wet towels. Now, another important issue we have to talk about is getting them on. If you are used to wearing high top sneakers, then you're all set. But if you're not, it will take you a bit to figure out putting these on and getting them on. As all high top sneakers, these will also maybe annoy you at first because of the abundance of eyelets and miles of laces. The trick I have found is that the specific area of the laces must be loosened up to easily slide your foot in, and that area is the one in the middle of the lacing structure, a bit towards the front of the shoe. But if you like this, I'm sure you'll figure out your own way. Because I will further wear these and post any future issues I encounter during, I think I will replace the standard shoelaces with elastic ones, as I have also encouraged you to do so in a short I have posted a while back. Speaking of issues, one that I am almost certain will arise due to the lack of any sidewall stitching is that the sidewall rubber will be forcefully separated from this velvety upper in the future, at least in the bending areas. It is a good thing these are vulcanized and another separation won't also emerge between the sidewall and the sole. If you're wondering how do these fit on foot, well, scrolling through the reviews of the standard Sk8 highs, we have found that these are largely reported as true to size, as I can confirm, because I bought these in my size and they fit just right. Okay, let's draw conclusions. So, we've established that these are an icon and a piece of history and also capable skateboarding and biking sneakers. But are they also suitable for daily casual wear? Well, they are comfortable, and that is mostly thanks to their thick cushioned insole, but to comfort should also contribute their breathability. And considering that these are high-top sneakers made for the summer with no ventilation holes and with velvet instead of the usual canvas, they unfortunately will not keep your feet cool like some shoes with knitted or mesh uppers or even canvas. But that is the perk of wearing cool skateboarding kicks. Because yes, these are largely considered to be cool and in style, no matter the age or casual context you are wearing them in. Also, daily wearers should be warned about the total lack of arch support, and taking long walks in these may tire your arches. Although these are true to size, bear in mind that they do get softer over time. Skateboarding will break them in the first couple of sessions, and then these will gradually become softer and softer. Some like that, some not at all. So, what do you think about these famous, long history, sports-rooted fashion facelifted sneakers? Write them ideas below. As for me, see you soon.
I give you sneakers.
I hope you have also enjoyed this one. I surely did. You can support us by becoming a patron, and if not, at least consider subscribing. It's free, it takes 1 second, and I would hate for you to miss our future adventures.
All the flowers in my garden never looked as bright as this. Butterflies down my stairs.